This stream is about to start. We'll talk about code or whatever we'll talk about today. It's about to start, so please hang tight while I check that everything is okay. Sound check, camera check, lights check. How's my hair? Oh, wait, I don't have any hair. Maybe put some pants on and I am good to go. So get ready wherever you are, 'cause this stream is about to start. Get ready wherever you are, 'cause this stream is about to start. Hi, I am Leandro Facchinetti, and let's talk about audio production. How are you doing, Arya?
I'm doing well, thank you. Good to be here.
It's great to have you here. Thanks for coming. And
Hey, you got some colors. What's going on?
well, don't you remember we learned about the autocolor feature in SWS?
Oh, that was your issue?
Well, do you mean like colors on the tracks?
Yeah.
Okay, so we had that stream in which we were talking about all the menus and the menu bar and menu options in Reaper.
I remembered that. I just thought you're against colors. I didn't know the issue was
I was never against
you wanted
colors.
them done automatically.
I was never against colors, but I didn't like having to assign colors manually. I preferred the Ableton Live way of just automatically setting colors for things. And then John from the Reaper blog
Yeah.
taught us that yes, it's possible, auto color, and this is the setup that I have. So if I have a track who is a children of someone, they automatically get the color of the parent, otherwise they just get a random color. And now, yeah, I do like colors.
You can also have it like you can also give rules there, like if a track is named vocals, then it will always be yellow.
Yeah, I know, but that seems like too much work. And in some cases, I will want to do things like, oh, I think that these guys, for whatever reason, need to be a different color, and I can do that. So I assigned keyboard shortcuts for the assign one random color to tracks and to... Actually, I think that's all, actually. I think that was the only one I needed. But there's still something that I don't quite like about this, and that is if you just go with the random color, SWS is not taking a random color from a palette, it's just literally taking any random color. And some of them are too similar, and some of them are just, they don't work well. They're just too dark or whatever. So I think that the random color should be less random.
There's a way of making it happen where you make it be random out of the 15 custom colors you import to SWS. But I mean, to me, that sounds like more work than establishing some rules. And if you still want to recolor something, you can overrule that rule. So that rule applies to anything that you haven't set a color to. If you set a color to it, it will ignore.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe I'll do that. But the interesting thing is that these colors have been here since the first time, since last week, I guess. So I just didn't notice before.
Yeah, it's normal to me. Colors are good.
They are, yeah. I just don't love having to set them by hand, but this setup is good enough. And even if I didn't have autocolor, just a keyboard shortcut for assigning a color to a track is nice, but I probably would have forgotten. But now there's this. And assigning colors to children automatically is great. Right, so we have a song here in front of us that is very much a work in progress. Since last time, what I did is I recorded the two phrases, the two sentences that you suggested would work better. So now the vocals sound like this. And I also did some of the pitch correction, but I didn't finish. So this is what we have right now.
This
is a song about people in their third shower of the day. A song about people who shower before and after going out. Yeah, so you suggested that I changed these guys, and I did. I cut some words to improve the flow, and I continued with the pitch shifting or pitch correction on this track, but I didn't finish it. But usually, I guess the next thing I would do is to do some manual gain writing, and you released a video that is great teaching how to do that. And I don't think there is much more to be said, because after you do the thing you show on the video, which is to just use the SWS extensions to create an envelope, then do you tweak that too much, or do you just go with what's there for the most part?
I may tweak it. Yeah, I may. So actually, one thing that I showed kind of wrong in my tutorial, and that, like, not to blame OBS, but it was OBS. I reshot that video like 12 times, and by the end I was like frustrated, so I didn't do this. But I would write that stuff to the pre-effects volume envelope, and there's two good things about that. One, you see it in the waveform. But two, I still may want a part to be louder, right? Like, so I still may go to the volume envelope and bring the chorus, make the chorus a bit louder, stuff like that.
Yeah, so even if I have not really finished the pitch correction, I have finished the tempo. And we looked at the tempo of the whole song last time. So everything is in sync and it's good enough. So I suppose I could just do the thing that you did in the tutorial, right?
Yeah.
And then we can look at what the result sounds like and maybe do some tweaks. But I think that we really would need context to fully flesh that out. And we don't have much context because I haven't really finished most of the recording. But still. So here's Arya's tutorial in a nutshell. You come here to the loudness extension in SWS, make sure to turn off high precision mode and analyze the selected items. And then it's going to do its thing. And then you select, when it's finished, you select all of them, right click. And this is the trick, the right clicking. So I think that for this sort of context, the one that works better is short term.
Wait, I think momentary, the one that's faster, is momentary faster?
Momentary is faster. Momentary is 400
I think
milliseconds.
The faster one works a bit better.
Okay, so you do that. Oh, but of course you have to do that with an envelope. So you have to select an envelope for that to work, and I don't have any envelopes right now. And there is a track envelope and an item envelope, and I think that you prefer the item one, though in your tutorial you used the track one. Am I right?
For what? Sorry?
For the envelope that we are going to create.
Oh, I like the pre-effects volume envelope on the track.
Oh, on the track?
I think that's the best one. Yeah.
Okay, so select that, and I want to see the envelopes for pre-effects volume.
Yeah.
And then select these guys. Oh, I cannot select both of them at once.
Here's the thing. The way you're doing it is a bit risky. I would analyze selected tracks, because the way you selected them, like, are these files, is it all the items on the first track, then all the items on the second track, or is it like interweaving between the two? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was thinking that I would be able to select the multiple envelopes and the tool would be smart enough to assign the envelopes to the tracks that they belong, but that seems to not be the case. So I could, I guess, select just these ones and then analyze, and then select those ones and then analyze.
Or you can just analyze selected tracks, then write track 8 to track 8, track 7 to track 7.
That seems nice. So, it deletes the items. It doesn't clear just this view, it deletes the items. Fun stuff. So I can select these tracks and change in the options to analyze selected tracks. And track 1 is this one, and track 2 is that one. Great. And it shows the track name if the track had a name, but it doesn't show the number here.
Yeah.
But whatever. So I select this envelope and use the momentary envelope. That is beautiful. I have to select the envelope. Awesome. And naturally, this is doing the opposite of what we want. So in your video, you created an automation item. And that's great and all, but I think there is a way for you to invert the thing without sourcing automation items, right?
There is just invert selected points that inverts them. I like the automation item because it can still control the amplitude and stuff like that, because sometimes, like sometimes you don't want it as much. Especially, you know, like you're still gonna kind of control the whatchamacallit. You're still gonna control. No, that way doesn't work. You gotta draw under it.
Okay, so I need to come here to the show envelope in lane, and then I can do that.
Yeah, I find the automation item kind of gives you more control. Then you can move it to another track, stuff like that. But yeah, you can just use, I think it's Cephalian invert selected points, or it may just be a native Reaper thing.
I think it is.
I have it on my toolbar.
If I right-click invert selected points. But let's not use that. Let's go here and change the amplitude. So now it's negative, which means that it's going to act as a compressor, not as an expander. And I can really go to town with this. But I don't think I want to go too crazy, right?
Yeah, like you can check the waveform and kind of like decide that stuff as well.
If I say the amplitude is 0, then it is no change. So I can see what the waveform used to look like. And then this is expanding.
So one thing is, I would also move it back a little bit, because like you can see at the beginning of the item, that reading is high because it's reading nothing. And now we inverted it, so it's lots of things. So I also just move it back at a slight amount.
Like a pre-compression kind of thing.
Essentially, yeah.
But what I find interesting is that, okay, it is compressing. Okay, that makes sense. So I think that somewhere about here should probably be right.
You're still in a positive though. So you're still, like you see on the tail, you're going down rather than going up. So at least what I like is like at the tail, when your voice is decaying, I want the level to go up.
Ah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay, so the default is 100. The default is not 0. Because I was kind of looking at this as the reference.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, the default is 100.
And now it is doing essentially compression in this range.
And then already, like doing this, you can see that, like sometimes you just gotta edit some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like maybe this.
Oh, and this is cool too. Like, I don't know if this is actually what is happening, or maybe not. Yeah. Maybe not.
Interesting. I am unable to change, like over here, I thought, well, maybe this is peeking out too much. So let me change this one. I'm unable to do that. It doesn't allow me to edit the point. Probably because it's an automation item. I don't know. It shouldn't be the case, but it is.
No, I don't think so. What do you mean it doesn't allow you to edit the point? You just edited the point?
No, yeah, I can click and drag, but watch this. I have no control over where it goes. It just, when I go down, it goes up. When I go up, it goes down. And I don't have granular control. It's just jumping around.
I think if you just close media or automation item properties, because on automation items, you can still edit stuff.
No, doesn't work.
I don't know why this is happening. It's not because of an automation item, because in automation items, you can still edit them.
Yeah.
There's something else happening.
Not only I cannot edit, but it not only goes in reverse, but I have no granular control over the thing, and no mouse modifiers change that behavior. So it's just...
It's definitely not the automation item. I don't know what's going on. There must be some weird thing.
I can delete the automation item preserving the points, and then I can move it around. So yeah, it has to do with the automation item. I just don't know why.
I mean, I like if you couldn't edit points on an automation item, it would be pretty useless. Because I do it all the time. I literally.
No, yeah, I have tried it too. I haven't really used automation items all that much, but I learned about them and I tried to use them, and I was able to edit points in there, but not today. Yeah, not today. But now I can. It was the automation item, so I can come in here and just say, yeah, maybe this one doesn't have to be so loud. And I can bypass this so we can hear the difference. And I will solo this. This is a song about people. This is a song about people.
It's lots quieter.
Yeah,
so that's another way you use an automation item, because you got a baseline, so you can bring your baseline kind of up and down.
So I guess the workflow is,
on the whole thing.
Frustratingly, the workflow is create an automation item, change whatever you want to change for the whole item. So for instance, the baseline doesn't seem to be doing us any favor, so I could increase it. But if I want to manually edit something, oh, now I can. So that seemed like a bug. I was going to say that...
yeah, I mean, that's not the normal behavior, like, at all. Like, I'm even doing it right now on my thing.
So I was going to say that I have to right-click to delete the automation item to be able to change points. But yeah, now it's back to normal. I can edit.
Do you have a time selection? I don't see you have a time selection.
I don't have a time selection, but should that affect anything? No, it doesn't. It was a bug.
Like on my preferences, time selection makes it selects all the envelope points, and most of the time I want that, but every once in a while I forget that that's a thing, and then I mess up my whole video automation.
Okay, but doesn't seem like that was the issue here.
Yeah, that was whatever, it happened.
Yeah, it was a bug. Okay, but let's give this a try again then. Now it's relatively the same volume, it seems.
Yeah, more or less.
This is a song about people. This is a song about people. I'm not in love with... I think it's an artifact of the time stretching that I did over here. This is a song about... right here.
On the of the about, yeah. I hear it too.
Yeah, I may re-record this, or... I don't know. I'm still not completely sold on this idea of tracking twice. It's just so much more work, and I'm not sure I love the sound of it. But yeah, here we are. And maybe in the mix this will not matter. We'll see. This is a song about people. But yeah, I can hear a difference, I think.
Yeah, especially on the tail, like on people, is the easiest place to hear it.
Yeah. So I guess like that, like the thing I did over here, I could go over the rest and then maybe tweak here and there. But overall, this is very transparent. You don't hear the compression happening. And yeah, I kind of like it. Let's do the same for the other one, just for completeness, so we don't forget about it for whatever reason. So it goes like this. I have to select the envelope to send it to a lane, and then automation item, increase the baseline and invert, and slide. It would be nice to automate this, wouldn't it? There was a way.
Maybe, I mean, definitely I think some of it can be like, okay, say you did the graph, you do that part on your own, fine. But from there, making an automation item, possibly reversing it, or just making an automation item that like envelops the whole thing and then opening the automation item properties, that could be a cool thing to do. Or just, I don't know, I guess in a script you can still run actions. So there are like they don't expose it to the API like you were saying in the comment, but there is, I think, yeah, there's an action called analyze loudness. Then, oh no, that just opens this menu. So yeah, I guess that part you gotta kind of do on your own.
Yeah, and I thought about this when I didn't write on the comment everything that I thought, but my whole thought process was that, okay, first, is there an API that I can hook into to just use SWS to do the heavy lifting of calculating the LUFs and maybe drawing the envelope? But there is no API that you can do the thing we just did programmatically. Doesn't exist. Second, I could write a script that would do in Lua the calculation of LUFs, because a Lua script can access the audio material in the item. There is this thing called the audio accessor, and it can just process audio not in real time in Lua, which is kind of fun. And there are some some scripts that do that. But I haven't really tested, but I suppose that's going to be slower. And any time gains you would get from automating this bit of the workflow, you would lose, because doing things in Lua is slower than doing things in C++. And then I thought, okay, but I could write the audio processing in C++, or maybe even borrow some of the C++ from SWS and just write Lua around that. But then at that point I thought, well, wouldn't it be more ergonomic to just have that in SWS? So that's why I said I think it should be a feature request for SWS.
Yeah.
And
it would be a nice feature request. I honestly, I feel like SWS takes a bit of time to update, and like, no blame, they are doing it for free. Because like, okay, like if we're talking about scripting things, I guess what I would say, I would love for this, because okay, like the LUFS thing works, it's great, fine, but like if we could do it RMS based, and then maybe we could set the RMS window so that if I'm doing this with like a guitar, I can go for a faster RMS, and then for vocals go for a slower thing, because this is fine with vocals. The short-term one is possibly good, like for a thing that I showed, like adjusting the level of like some parallel compression or something. But then neither of these two are good enough for, like, I don't know, guitars, for example. So yeah, if we're scripting things, I would do it like I would love it to be RMS based. I would love it to have like a threshold, kind of like tri-leveler does. So it evens stuff out, but there's also a gate for whatever to ignore. So maybe we can have it like ignore breaths, ignore like the empty area of items, possibly automatically like start the analysis on the first item. Because with SWS, I think like by the time the first item hits, there's already like a single reading there, right? The first line is always like on the 0 line.
Mm-hmm.
The first point. So there's definitely room for improvement if you want to, if you want to get into it.
Yeah, I guess what we are talking about is sort of recreating a compressor offline. Usually we drop compressors as effects on the tracks, but what we are talking about is having an offline compressor, which being offline will have more power. I guess the most important thing is pre-compression, which you can do with recomp. But still, you can see the result of the compressor and you can play around with that result.
Yeah.
Well, another thing you can do, which is sort of a cheap version of that, is you can do the short term or the momentary. You can do the momentary, then you can you can select all the points and reduce the number of points.
Okay.
So that is going to give you longer windows. Or you can maybe just go for short term for longer windows. But there is this reduce number of points menu that you have some control over what's happening. It's going to reduce the number of points, but sort of preserve the overall shape of what's going on.
Yeah.
So you can do that.
You can't increase.
You cannot increase.
I'm mostly interested in increasing because I feel like the momentary is still somewhat slow.
Well, to increase to increase, you can come here, right click and set the shape of the point. And then if you have like slow start and end, it's still going to visit the same places. I guess a bigger amplitude is going to show this, but it's still going to visit the same places, but it's going to go there with a different shape. It doesn't seem to be doing that though.
Yeah.
Slow start and then there you go. So now it's inserting more points. You don't really see the points, but yeah, they're there. And for the thing you mentioned where you wanted to have sort of like a threshold. So suppose that everything below here you don't want to affect, you can select everything below here.
Yeah, but like I want just everything that isn't an item to not even be read, right?
I see. You don't want necessarily to have these sorts of points, right?
Even the first one I want because it's bringing up your tail, but I want afterwards for it to just go back to just not being like active at all.
And so essentially, I guess these 3 points or maybe just these 2 points?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which that bit isn't a big deal because right now it's a point over nothing, so it's nothing.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Why do you care about this?
I don't care about it much, but point is like there is room for improvement, I think, with the SWS system. Like smaller windows. Because I mean, even if you change your points to like S curves and stuff, it's still not the same as if you had a smaller RMS window. Because in a smaller RMS window, like a very short consonant like a K will actually be picked up and have its own reading. Whereas in this case, like it folds into whatever vowel comes after the consonant, and we can change the shape of the thing, but we can't really do anything about that.
Yeah, I get it. I have another idea.
Okay.
Here's what you do, Arya. You take the item, you stretch it,
I thought about that too. Yeah.
And then you do the envelope and you then compress everything back.
Shrink the envelope. Yeah. I thought about that, but it's hacky. Like people will be like, "Oh,
Do you think it's hacky? I don't think.
Everything.
I don't think so. It sounds
I
like
think
great fun.
I just feel like whatever I do, people are like, "Oh, it's such a waste of time." So whenever I think about anything that's like hacky, I just keep it to myself.
Well, I didn't.
Yeah.
No, because it's with the hacks that things start, right? One of my scripts that I like the most is the one that is after you, like, suppose that these two tracks are podcasts and this is person one speaking and person two speaking. One of my favorite scripts is the thing that is going to truncate the silences in between. And there is actually a series of videos about the truncation of silence. There are 3 videos on my channel. On the first one, it's probably my first week in Reaper, and that is a huge hack of what I did. I sort of render the parent, and then I remove dynamic splits with the parent, but affecting the children in a group. It's a whole mess. It's a huge hack, but that was the inspiration for eventually getting to the rescript, which I quite like. So yeah, no shame in hacks. Hacks are great.
I'll tell that to my viewers.
Are you having a hard time with trolls, Arya?
No, whatever. I live for trolls. I want more. It's good for the algorithm, man.
Well, but it may not be good for the spirit. Are you having trouble with trolls, Arya? Do you want to talk about it?
I mean, I'm having trouble overall with just making content for YouTube, but no, viewers are viewers. What are you gonna do? When trolls come out of the woodworks, you know that you're getting reached to people, I guess.
Yeah, I guess there are the highs and the lows. But it's gonna be fine, Arya. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah, I think so.
And all right, so I think that this is good. How about we move on to the backing vocals? And what are your ideas for backing vocals? For the previous song, you had an idea about that, and this one is kind of similar. So, thoughts on backing vocals?
Yeah, I mean, the ideas I had, I think they were more based on like lyrics on that other song. With this, I mean, nothing is coming to mind right away, but I mean, one thing to look at is like, okay, like between your verse and chorus right now, in terms of vocals, we can create more difference if we like thicken the stuff up in the chorus. We can do it harmonically. We can do it just by adding extra voices. We can do like some canon stuff. So like some backing vocals are singing the thing kind of later. But yeah, I don't have any specific ideas for this. It was more like with the last song, I was just getting a lot of ideas because the lyrics kind of, whatchamacallit, like we're calling it or not. I don't know. I've forgotten how to speak, but you know what I mean.
I think I do. Okay, so let's start with something very basic. Your run-to-the-mill kind of harmonies for the chorus, because I'm not even sure if I ever did that very well. So if you were just going to do, I guess, probably different notes, singing the same line but with different notes, right? Is that what people do?
Say again. Sorry, I got distracted.
So I guess we could start with the most basic thing to see where that takes us. And I guess the most basic thing would be on the chorus to make it, well, a chorus to make more people singing it. You would just sing the same line, the same content, the same lyrics,
Mm-hmm.
but with different notes, right? Is that people?
Right. Right.
This is how people
That's
usually
like a
do it.
basic harmony. Yeah, and speaking of hacks, you want to know a good hack? Get this VST called Pitchproof. It's by Aegean Music. It's free. And what Pitchproof can do is diatonic pitch shifting. So I use it a lot for backing vocals because, like, say my song is in A minor, I can just create buses and send my vocal to that, and then have it sing a third, sing a fifth, sing a seventh, mix them together, and then see if I like any lines kind of jump out at me. You can also just get reattuned to output MIDI and then do it that way. But this is like a really quick way for me to kind of audition harmonies, and also sometimes to find the harmonies, because I like in my brain I can sing thirds, and then when it comes out of my mouth it starts as thirds and it goes to unison or a fifth, just however my body feels it. So it's a good like way to test stuff like that out.
Okay, I can install this, but first let's say hello to Bo, who's here. Hello, Bo. I wasn't looking at the chat before, and
Secret squirrel.
Secret squirrel.
Squirrel.
Hello. Great to have you all here. Another tool that is supposed to be able to do what you just described is repitch, right?
Yeah, but repitch is, does it do diatonically or does it just do it chromatically?
Well, I don't know. I think you have to send MIDI to it, right?
Yeah, but then you gotta write the MIDI. So with Pitchproof, like you set the scale, and if you choose a third, if it's in A minor, if you're doing A, it will play a C, which is a minor third. If you sing a G, then it will sing B, which is a major third from G. So it figures that bit out.
Right. Okay. So let's give this guy a try.
Really good, by the way. Like I actually have used that on one of my songs instead of actually recording good old.
I'm not able to drag and drop.
It's not finding the alias. Like the alias folder is not working. You can see it's not finding the right place.
And where are my VSTs? Okay, let's not type my password on camera. And I don't need audio units, do I? Just for completeness.
I guess might as well.
Components, here they are. And this one doesn't ask for a password? Okay.
Maybe it's AU, they're like whatever. You know how it works.
And let's go to my downloads folder and drop this there for future reference. And then I can close this, close that, and close that. And then in Reaper, I don't need to do that. I can just come to, and I guess you use that on Ascend, right?
Yeah. You can also copy the items to another tribe. Ascend is fine.
Why do I have this track? Doesn't do anything. There is nothing in here. And you may say that I'm an over the leader, but I think that this one needs to go.
No, delete that. Why you like link like 300 parameters, then you're like, no, delete.
Right, so now let's do a folder for this. And what do we have here in terms of effects on this track? We have recomp and we have reverb, but it's a very light reverb, so I think it will be fine if I just do it over there. And then another track. Oh, this is lovely. I have to do it the other way around. I have to drag this up. Okay, this is going to be our harmony. And then I can... Now that I'm done with these envelopes, I think I'm going to hide them again because... Or
Yeah.
do this, which is not exactly hiding, but...
Tucking them in.
Yeah, I don't like the lanes.
No, yeah, and you can accidentally click on your folder. I think is in half collapse. If you're wondering.
Doesn't seem to be. No. Yeah, it's not. It's just.
Did you accidentally lock your track height?
I did not. And now it's working again? No, it's not. Yep. I guess we just reached another bug. Okay, so I'll do that in the mixer.
Right click on that track.
I will.
I guess maybe lock track height and then unlock it.
So now it's locked. Now it's unlocked. And it still doesn't change. And...
Oh, wait, but your track 4 is half collapsed.
Ah, that may be it. There you go. So let's route the mains to the harmony. Do I route like both channels?
Sure, it'll be thicker, whatever. They're unison, so it doesn't matter too much.
Okay. So I am sending that to the harmony, and then...
I guess the question is your chorus diatonic? Because I know you use like a lot of non-diatonic harmony, so, you know, it's just an audition. If one note is like one off or something, you can still imagine it or just automate it or something.
What?
Is your chorus diatonic? Like, is it in one scale? Because you do use a lot of like non-diatonic notes in your compositions.
Oh, I do?
Yeah.
How does that happen? I don't know. It's not like I am thinking about it too much. So maybe that's why I'm just out of tune.
It's not out of tune. It's like secondary dominance and stuff. Like maybe put some pants on. That part is fully non-diatonic to the rest of the scale of your song.
Okay. Nice.
That's good. No, I like it.
Great. And then I have to scan for plugins. Please don't complain about... Okay. Please don't complain about notarizing.
Oh, okay, no.
Oh, man. I freaking hate notarization. Do you know what I'm talking about? How sometimes you have to like go into your system preferences and say, yeah, I really want to run the software that I told you to run, please, computer, which I paid for.
Yeah.
Freaking.
And sometimes it's like, no, I won't allow it. You got to go to preferences and be like, you know how you asked if I'm okay with it and I said okay? Now here's me in security and privacy saying the same thing again.
Yeah. Oh, man, I hate that. Okay, so
annoying.
So that's this guy, Pitchproof, harmonizer pitch shifter. And we are in the key of C. How convenient. Because the chorus is C,
cool.
G, F, G, I think, something like that.
Cool.
And then...
so all the way wet. And then I don't think you need to detune at this stage. And then, yeah, you see that kind of strip on the bottom?
I do.
On the Pitchproof, yeah. So I think by default, it's just going to do +3 up, but you can like click and drag it, and then it'll do also, in this case, it's doing +4 down.
No.
Yeah, I'm confused too. Anyway, play the track, you'll hear it.
Okay.
Whoa. What is going on?
I mean, I love it, but it's not what I was expecting.
Oh wait, are you? Because you're sending your main to the harmony, and then the harmony is going back up to the mains and coming back into itself. Your track 4 is sending to track 8, but track 5 needs to send to track 8. Yeah.
Yeah, but I would totally do that again.
Sounded like a video game, son.
Sounded like what?
A video game.
You need to shower, but you probably don't need to shower as often as you do. You need to shower, but you probably don't need to shower as often as you do. You need to shower. Okay.
Yeah, and then you can kind of audition like other instead of third, try a 7th, try a 5th.
And you said that this strip was gonna do something, but it doesn't.
It doesn't seem to be doing something. I think maybe it needs to be. Oh wait, there's a. I need to check it on my side because I can see. A thing that I don't remember what it does, but I think it's got to do with that normal mode. You need to shower. Yeah, there's the keyboard module mode, but I guess you need to connect the keyboard to that.
And I guess that's gonna do keyboard modulation, but modulation of exactly what?
No, so what the +3 and +4 means that is that it's either +3 semitones if it's a minor third, it's +4 semitones if it's a major third. I think that's what it means, not the other thing. Yeah.
And okay, and I can decide, and if I decide one of these, then it's gonna be like repitch. It's not gonna be following the key.
Yeah.
Okay, and transient fix, and then mono or stereo. And then tuner display. Okay, it's pretty simple. I get it. I understand what it does. I like it. But it doesn't sound too good. Let's try something else. So.
Yeah, because it's not formant shifting. So it's just pitch shifting. It's making your mouth smaller. But just to kind of hear what the harmony would sound like, it's the quickest way I know.
Yeah, interesting what you said. It's making my mouth smaller.
Yeah.
And the principle of operation, I suppose, is similar to the thing that we have been developing. Maybe this is doing the FFT version of that, but we already talked about the FFT version of that too. So you sort of know what's going on here.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's something else that's going on, which is the finding of the fundamental frequency of the original sound. That is something that we have not talked about, but there are cool algorithms to do it. And there are cool algorithms to do that on the time domain without having to do FFTs. Cool stuff.
Cool.
We
should look into that, because I was thinking about using something like two things. One would be like an audio arpeggiator kind of thing, where you give a short note to a delay, and then it would go. So if you go a did, it would go did did did. So it would play the minor third and minor fifth, or sorry, a minor third and major fifth on it, and maybe repeat it or whatever. And then the other idea I had, I forgot about, but I'll remember it and I'll let you.
Yeah, there is this guitar pedal, and I will never remember the name of the guitar pedal, but I do remember the name of the song in which the guitar pedal is used. Or do I? It's by John Mayer. It's on the Heavier Things album. It is...
I think it's Earthquaker pedal, right?
I don't know the name of the pedal, but yeah, it does something similar to that, because you play like two notes and it's going to replay the notes doing crazy notes. I said notes several times in one sentence. Yeah, but that's more or less what you're talking about is to detect the fundamental frequency of whatever is being played. And on the delay, you pitch shift by a specific amount to get the desired effect. So yeah, it's totally something we can do. And judging by the fact that this Pitchproof is not introducing any latency, and supposing that it is doing what it's telling us, it's not introducing latency without reporting it. So judging by the fact that it's not using any latency, I suppose it's not using the FFT, because the FFT does need latency. So it's probably doing the pitch shifting on the time domain, just like we are. And the detection of the fundamental frequency on the time domain is such a cool algorithm. We haven't really had a chance to talk about it yet. But yeah, it's such a cool algorithm that we'll probably get to it at some point. And Andreas is being super nice. The lyric idea is absolutely award worthy. You are too nice. Thank you. Right. So
hi, Andreas.
Let's hear the fifths, or actually the fifth harmony, so sixth and sevenths. It's playing fifths.
6 and 7
semitones. Yeah. So it's gonna do tritones. Fun stuff.
You need to shower, but you probably don't need to shower as often as you do.
It's also screwing up. Do you hear that? Sometimes I think it could be because we sent the doubled performance to it. It's not getting some of the notes true, because you need to shower. But it's going, you need to shower. It's unison in some places.
But I'm loving this. It's much better than just recording the thing. Because I thought what I did before when I wanted to record harmonies was something silly. But maybe it's what everyone does. I don't know. I don't know how people usually do this. What I did is I wrote the song first. So I played the song and I know what the main line sounds like. I recorded. It's what you're hearing. Then I got my guitar and I found all the notes. And then I played something else that would work with that, usually thirds and fifths. And then I would deconstruct the chords that I was playing, and I would come up with second lines and third lines. So it was a lot of work, and I'm not sure it sounded awesome, but that's what I did. And this is a lot more fun. The workflow is a lot more fun.
It's quick, yeah. If you do it with MIDI, you can also go to the MIDI editor, and there's duplicate notes diatonically. So you make a key snap, you duplicate the notes up a third, then up a fifth, then you can go through them and kind of maybe alternate between them or something. I never like if something is always just a third or always just a fifth, but if you kind of move between them, maybe when you sometimes go the opposite direction, shit like that sounds good usually.
Yeah.
But yeah, some people just hear it, and I'm very bad at hearing. I hear harmonies, I just can't sing them. Literally in my brain, I'm hearing good harmonies for this vocal line, but I can't sing it.
Okay, let's try. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but I changed the routing such that the harmony is only listening to the left side.
Right.
You need to shower, but you probably don't need to shower as often as you do.
That's better in terms of detection.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I bet that the detection algorithm that they are using is the one that I have in mind and the one that I want to implement at some point. And the way that works is on the time domain. So it does something called autocorrelation, where it tries to correlate a signal with itself. So it essentially is looking at, is it an A? If it is an A, the period of the waveform is going to be this. So let's superimpose one period with the previous one and see if it correlates well or not. Okay, but what if it's a B? Then the period is going to be this length. So let me do the correlation again. It keeps trying. So if the two signals, left and right, are... Well, the point of re-recording, the reason why I spent so much time re-recording the thing was precisely because I wanted the the correlation to not be perfect, right? That's the whole point of using of doubling instead of using I don't know, just some chorus effect. But then you are sort of that's the worst case scenario for the pitch detection, right? Because you are exactly throwing something at it that is slightly decorrelated. So probably that's why this is better. I guess I got my engineering brain in the middle of the music brain here. Okay, let's audition now. Now that we have something that is detecting the pitch better, let's hear the third again.
You need to shower, but you probably don't need to shower as often as you do.
Okay, that's nice.
I like it on you need to shower, then afterwards for the longer second phrase, I feel like it gets too busy.
You need to shower, but you probably don't need to shower as often as you do. You need to shower, but you probably don't need to shower as often as you do.
And this display here in the middle is just craziness. It's it's not showing anything useful, right?
It's very fast and weird. I never look at it. I guess that's why they have like no display. Cause like maybe if you're like doing a choir, that will be stable. But not in your case. So I already got an idea from this. So if I were doing backing vocals for this, I would do a very large, thick line for the you need to shower part. It would have thirds and sixths. Then the second part is kind of like, because you're saying like, you need to shower, yeah. And then it's like, but. And then the but part doesn't have any backing vocals. You know, so it's like, you need to shower. But you probably don't shower as often as you do. You need to shower.
Interesting. Oh, in fact, I do have something else that I did that kind of goes along this line of call and response that you're talking about. So this is something that I already had last time. I'm calling these overdubs. They're not overdubs, but whatever. So it's this part that there are a bunch of effects, delay and reverb. It doesn't sound too good, but can I?
It's like it's like what do you call it? One of those things that people have, loudspeaker that you talk into. Political campaigners go around and go. Brr, 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 brr. I forget.
Walkie-talkies?
Megaphone.
Oh, megaphones. Okay.
Yeah.
Once a day may be too much, unless you've been exercising, or it's been a really hot day. You need.
Yeah, but the thing that I did is I put another line here, and let's see if you all can get the reference from this one. I'd like to do a song of great social and political import.
This is a song about.
Yeah, I need some help in the mixing because it's too loud. Do you get the reference?
Oh, is it Jon Stewart or something?
No. I won't answer now. I'll let the chat chime in to see if they get the reference. But this is a song of great social and political import.
It rings a bell, but I can't put my finger on it.
When I tell you what it is, you'll be like, oh, yeah, of course. But okay, so sixth. Oh, I muted the harmony.
You need to shower.
This is so bad.
You need to shower. I like that. Shower.
You need to shower.
And sevenths are probably not gonna work, but let's hear.
You need to shower.
And
It's crazy.
yeah, usually harmonies go up and not down, right? Because otherwise it would be the fundamental frequency, it would be the bass line, right?
Yeah, you could like it would invert the chord essentially, but then arguably you also have a bass note, and if your harmony is above that, then no. Um, but yeah, like just kind of like classically, mostly people do upwards harmonies. Though I mean Jacob Collier usually doubles himself like one octave down, I think, and sometimes a fifth down, or -5 semitones,
Mm,
which is not a fifth down, it's a fourth down.
yeah. Okay, and now that we are here, I think I liked the third.
You need to shower.
Okay, that works. And now let's detune.
You need to shower.
Doesn't make any difference, does it?
I think go to stereo mode.
Under mono, go to stereo.
You need to shower.
I like what.
Oh, but then your source is panned. Is that why it went and got panned?
You need to shower.
I think the detune would work, but like would be most obvious if you have like two layers of this, and one is like -1/10 flat, and one is +1/10 sharp or something.
Mm-hmm. I see.
I think it's hard to hear like that amount.
Yeah, because it's not detuned with respect to anything else. And if I just do unison, then we will hear that.
You need to shower, but you probably don't. You need to shower, but
Nope.
you need to shower.
Not really.
I don't hear much. Yeah, it's hard to hear.
Oh, and someone on Discord. By the way, if you are watching this and you're not on the Discord channel, you should be there. It's a great little community. And someone asked what zipper noise was. This is zipper
You need
noise.
to shower, but you probably don't
Yeah.
need to shower.
They are not smoothing this
So
parameter.
does that not tell you something like regarding latency? Because doesn't that happen like if that could happen if the time is being adjusted, right? Wouldn't be the only place it would happen, but like it would be one of the places where that would happen.
I can think of some reasons why zipper noise could happen on this parameter. The first is just naive coding, because the detuning is going to change the speed of the pitch, or the speed of the read head that is doing the pitch shifting. So
Yeah.
you're sort of storing some samples and you're replaying them faster for the pitch to go up. And if you don't smooth this change in size, that could cause zipper noise. But it would be worse if I was able to just, this was like a slider, I would be able to jump to a value. This is a knob, so I'm not able to jump to a value. I can only go there in smaller increments. That could be reason number one. Reason number two actually has to do with the physics of what I'm asking this to do. I am asking this to change.
You're saying detune back.
Yeah, I'm asking this to do something that is physically impossible. I have the pitch shifter, I think, this one, works probably. We could probably see if the manual explains that, but let's suppose that it's using the algorithm that we are using. Then in that case, as I am detuning, especially think about it, if I'm detuning down, then I want to play more samples or play more slowly the samples that I have. In other words, you can think of this as like your room is kind of expanding. If you think of the delay line not necessarily as a pitch shifter, you're trying to expand the room in a way that doesn't really make physical sense. And that sometimes manifests as zipper noise as well. So it can be naive coding because this parameter was not smoothed as it should have been, maybe. You don't need to smooth all the parameters on an interface, but most of them, you do want to think about how they are going to react to automation, like the blend. You do want to automate that. Now, the pitch changes, you probably don't need to smooth that. Unless you want to be able to automate this and then it goes like a tape, goes woo, to another note.
Yeah. No, even for that, like when I was doing that, I would just lay out the 3rd, 5th, 7th, whatever, and then you can just kind of blend between them until you find something. Just to find an idea, not to use in any final product.
Yeah, and I don't think that all of this tells me much about the latency, or that would affect the latency in any way. I don't think, but who knows? I'm not a professional. You shouldn't ask advice about this stuff from me. I don't know. Yeah, but let's try this. So you're saying that the harmony could be, we could play with more of these guys. So let's do exactly that. In fact, what I'm going to do is create 3 tracks under harmony. Move this fellow there, and then have 2 other copies.
You don't have the duplicate empty version of track, I'm assuming.
I do have that.
And what you're doing is not gonna work because the parent is receiving the signal. It's not sending it to children.
Oh yeah, but I'm about to change that. Probably.
Okay, well, I would have just duplicated the harmony track and then changed the settings on the...
That would have been smarter.
Pitchproof.
But smart is not necessarily what I am known for. Okay, now the routing is correct. And then I want to see the effects for this track. Oh no, I got the pitch ball. Okay. Sometimes effects that need to be bridged because they're not Apple Silicon, sometimes they crash Reaper.
Yeah. Your audio just got bit crushed for a moment, but now
Is
it's
it,
back.
oh, okay, it's back. Great. But I'm no longer able to see the plugin.
Because it says it's floating. Where is it floating? I don't know. Maybe you moved some stuff out of the way.
No. If I unfloat there is no way to render the effect here, right? Because it's a bridged effect. But if I double click, you can see that this is the effect window. It doesn't look right.
Oh, and it's...
Yeah, so Mac M1's Apple Silicon happens from time to time. Usually closing and reopening the project solves this.
Did you save?
Yes. Would have asked me otherwise, I think. And then it works again. Yep, the pleasures of having a new processor, I guess. But the new architecture, more importantly. So let's do thirds, fifths, and octaves. Does it have octaves? No.
Plus 12,
Oh, yeah, it does. What am I saying? Oh, and this guy is CPU hungry. Well, I guess it's doing a lot, so it makes sense.
Plus 12? Interesting.
Oh, see?
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Oh, the bridge just crashed, not the whole Reaper?
Yeah, the bridge crashed, but the bridge is still here. The bridge shows up as a second app. It's behind us, but yeah, it shows up as a different app. Is it working, though? Seems to be. The user interface is there.
Are you overall, a quick tangent, are you overall annoyed by M1? Like, is there a lot of these things?
Not really. It works super well. Most apps have been ported. And Rosetta works amazingly well. It's fast. To be honest, I haven't really noticed a lot of difference between Rosetta and Native, which is like amazing. It's probably an order of magnitude of difference, but in practice, I haven't really seen that too much. Because there are other factors besides just processing power. There's like latency, and both Rosetta and ARM can do a pretty good job at pipelining. So latency, it's very similar. And most of the difference is in the processing itself. Like when you're crunching numbers for running an audio effect. So, and in terms of like the ecosystem, most things are already ported. The things that are not ported work well under Rosetta. And yes, there are some glitches. And there are some things that you need to be aware of. For instance, when you're using Reaper to do video editing, you need a version of VLC, which is going to decode the video, which is in the same architecture. And when you're installing Homebrew, like I do for development tools, install via Homebrew, you have to know that Homebrew will work differently somewhat under Apple Silicon. But other than that, what was I going to show here? I forget. It was the video stuff, but I don't even know where it is. It's here. So yeah, VLC is the decoder. But other than that, it works very well. And I mean, when I am doing lots of things and streaming at the same time and everything, yeah, and this is unnecessarily low, my buffer size. It could probably be at 1024 right now for the kind of thing that we are doing. I'm not recording anything. So yeah, overall, I really like it. Yeah, I recommend it, especially at this price point of about $700. Yeah.
Well, now they're going M2, I heard too.
Yeah. I guess it's to be expected. But I don't think that the leap forward from M1 to M2 is going to be so significant.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not going to be as significant as X64 to ARM. But we'll see. Time will tell. And depends on what you're doing too. But yeah, I'm very happy with this computer. You probably cannot get anything as good as this in the PC world for the same price point, which kind of changes the scale a bit. But then again, I'm not a professional at this. I don't know too much. I haven't built a PC in 15 years. Yeah, what's this? Oh, this is the automation item. No, it's not. What is this?
Looks like
It is the automation item. This gray bar is the automation item, and then you can see the media item underneath.
Oh, okay. I see. Because your thing is in lane. I guess I never go in lane almost.
Oh, you liked having the lanes on. Well, here on the track control panel.
Yeah. If it gets too crowded, I would put in lane and then lock them. But just having them in lane, like I'll accidentally move something. Then what are you gonna do?
I see. Right, so now we have the whole thing. Thirds, fifths, and sevenths, I think I did. No, unison.
Octave?
Yeah, octave. So, not unison, octave. Let's hear this.
You need to shower.
I love this.
You need to shower. But you probably don't need to shower as often as you do.
Especially I love when it gets wrong, one of the notes in the middle.
Yeah, why does it go wrong?
I don't know, but I love it. And I guess this whole track setup and everything, it's too bad because most of the CPU in this plugin is probably on like detecting the pitch and computing the other pitch and doing the buffer and everything. And then it has to do that 3 times. It would be much better if the plugin could just ask for multiple harmonies here, multiple pitches, right? Because it would do most of the heavy lifting only once. Right. So, to conclude, what do we have here? We have a way of auditioning different harmonies, and then I guess I will see what I like from this and record it for real, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. Sounds like a good homework to have. So with that, how about we conclude?
Sure, yeah. I got the big show today. I'm very anxious. Last night I had dreams about routing that really made no sense. It's just like send, receive. It was just everything in my brain spilling out into itself.
Oh, I have
Yeah.
I have had dreams about routing. I confess I've been there. So what is this big stream?
Well, it's a live stream show. It's two people in studio and two cameras, and then two people calling in via Skype. And remember, we figured this out at the Garant Luff live stream, which was very annoying because the first 30 minutes of that are really hard to listen to. That like okay with NDI when you import an NDI source into OBS, you get a picture and then you get an audio thing. But then if you bring a second NDI source in, you get another audio thing. But these audio tracks the audio tracks are the same. Like whatever NDI source you import, all the audio comes in with it.
That's
so fine.
specifically
So you-
true of Skype via NDI. It's not true of anything over NDI. It's not NDI's fault. It's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it's Skype's fault. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess I don't know, like what other program though would I guess Video Ninja?
You mean you can just mute the audio coming from
So
the
yeah,
NDI?
so I muted the second NDI source, and that works fine. But then another issue we're kind of having is that the NDI source is at the computer that's streaming. It's taking the video feed from one computer and it's compositing the image and then adding the NDI source and streaming it. But there's a third computer that's doing the audio, so I need to get the Skype in there. And then the audio computer also doubles as the monitor for the hosts to see the people on Skype because the other computer that's streaming is in another room. So I was like, okay, I'll mute both NDI sources and I get the audio from the Skype in on the audio computer. But then the issue with that is I set the speakers of that to black hole, get them into Reaper via an aggregate device, but it will also pick up the voice from the people who are already connected via microphones to the main audio system. Because basically I'll be in the call and then where we're sending them video and audio will be on the call, and then the two of them will be on the call. So I haven't been able to figure out a way of doing that. Unless I guess I bring in an NDI source on an OBS on my audio computer and then set like a monitoring device to VB cable, bring that into. So I guess I just talked it out and this seems to work.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Yeah. You can use OBS as simply a receiver of NDI because ideally what you would do is you would be able to bring an NDI source, an NDI audio source into Reaper directly. That would be great. I don't think it exists though. I don't think there's any kind of VST that you can look into that. Maybe there is a VST that it will get an NDI source.
Do you know like Audio Movers?
I have heard of it from you, actually.
I don't know if it uses NDI. I'm not sure.
I don't think it does.
But I mean, yeah, there are plugins that basically take a thing from like Chrome or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think it uses NDI because until recently, NDI was optimized for local area networks and low latency connections. And Audio Movers is exactly the opposite. It's handling high latency scenarios, wide area networks. So I guess what they do is probably WebRTC, if I was to guess, because they allow you to go in the browser and use it. You don't need special software. So it's most definitely WebRTC. So it's the same technology behind Video Ninja.
Yeah, so I think the OBS thing, right? Do the OBS thing.
Or alternative, you can, yeah. Yeah, I guess that's going to be the best strategy. But you can also just join the call on with Skype and send that to Black Hole and into Reaper.
But the problem is there, like when I do that, it also bring in the audio from the hosts because I'm a fourth caller.
Yeah, you need a mix minus sort of thing.
And I think even if I do the NDI thing, because the NDI is shared, that won't work because it would still bring in the audio from everybody.
Yeah. And on Skype, I don't think you were able to mute some people on your side. You probably have checked.
Yeah, you can. So I guess my alternative idea is not to process the Skype audio. It just goes through the NDI directly there, but then if it's not going through the tri-leveler, because I was very excited to use the tri-leveler / auto mixer. And I tried the auto mixer, but the problem is there's a slight latency, so auto mixer starts messing up. Because you can be like, oh, well, the audio from these two people in the studio is the quieter source. I can set like a higher track priority for them, so they mute the Skype thing, or they just turn down the Skype thing. But that didn't work because of the latency. When they stop, suddenly an echo comes up. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, the priority was not meant to solve the problem that you're talking about. The problem that you're talking about is the relative level of different people, and I was sort of expecting that it would gain stage all of this prior to the auto mixer. The purpose of the priority is for like a moderator. So you want someone's microphone to choke another one's microphone.
Yeah, exactly. So
or for the moderator to choke someone else in case the discussion gets too heated.
Yeah, like I mean, auto mixer works fine. It's kind of Skype and kind of just I can't think of another thing. I can think of Video Ninja, but I just see Video Ninja like gets laggy.
What about 2 Skype calls?
How would they hear each other?
On one Skype call, they hear. In another one, they send the audio for you. A cleaner version of the audio with just their audio. Now, it depends on their internet being good, on your internet being good, but it could do Skype.
Yeah, one of them, their internet isn't good. They're in like Nova Scotia, in kind of a remote place where good internet just isn't available, even if you pay for it.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Do you want to talk about it? Like, do you want to promote it so people who may be interested can check it out?
I mean, I don't think anybody lives in Montreal, but yes, if you want, you can check out the YouTube channel The Breach, or you can go to thebreachmedia.ca. Today we're doing a test stream that we're not broadcasting, but I think it's like a make or break day, basically.
Good luck, Arya.
Thank you.
And thanks for being with us today. It is always fun and informative. And I see you on the next one. I guess I see you on Monday?
Yes, with a very hopefully special stream.
Oh, that is probably going to be on Tuesday then.
Oh, that's Tuesday. Yeah, a very special stream. So I guess let's just not stream on Monday, March 1st, and then on Tuesday we'll either stream something wow, or if for some reason it doesn't happen, what we were gonna do on Monday.
Yeah. Right. Okay. And as for me, I will be here tomorrow for some JS effects. I I'm not even sure what we will be doing because we finished what we were doing on the auto mixer. So I suppose we will be back to the library, and I forget right now what the library needs. So tomorrow, JSFX library, it will be fun. Right, bye.